What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play 7 Nights Flashpoint. It is time for our third, I would say, main story mission here. This is Loophole Heist. We are running a mission for Octane here, and we're trying to get into the underground bunker here. So we can chat back and forth across the team. A D Street Cartel, of course, is the criminal syndicate we are raiding, and they've got some moderately upgraded units. So whistlers can be a little bit annoying to deal with. If they hit you, you get a bleed on you. You have to use a heal to end it early. So head down the stairs and make it down into the finance bunker, basically. Alrighty, so what we're going to try to do here is acknowledge that the guards aren't all going to see me. So even though I know what the guard patrols are in the interest of being sort of fair to how the game would actually work, I'm going to go ahead and use these and say that, this guard is not going very far. He's going to stop right there. That's going to be fine. This guard's going over there. He's going to stop over there. That's going to be fine as well. Not a problem. So ultimately, I can have... Well, I guess I'll use... I'm debating whether I want to use Tactical Surge now or not. There are, like, technically some reasons why you would delay based on initiative ordering. We'll do it after all, and it'll be fine, but... so here's movement points and everything else. Before I forget, I'm going to throw down JTAC around here. Should let me get some shots on these guards as well, no problem. I'm going to throw down Coordinated Charge, and the reason why I bring it up is, okay, now we've got... Right, you're going to go down to... I guess it's going to work out this time, but the initial ordering can get a little bit funky where someone could get stuck at, like, initiative 11 or, like, 13 or something, and they have to go down to 3, and that can make sequencing kind of awkward. Ultimately, it's fine in this case, but that is something you can kind of consider. Regardless, we can yield past all the guards. In fact, there's code at 13, right? So if he, like, needed to manipulate initiative more directly, it'd be a bit harder to, because I literally can't press yield until I delay down to the last person of the turn. Doesn't matter in this case, but that can sometimes matter. So the guards are turning around. They're doing whatever they're doing. Okay, so the goal, right, is to infiltrate the bunker right here. If we complete the entire mission, both this and the part 2 in under 3 security level, we'll get some bonus XP. I find this relatively difficult to do, in that you have to kind of give up a lot of optional loot to do so, and 10% XP is just not a very valuable reward, so I don't really care. Anyway, we've got to, of course, knock some guards down. And what I want to do is... you know, abuse my... Oh, I want to make sure I'm out of your vision range, so... I guess I'm going to run to... darn, the vision's going to be kind of annoying. I'm going to run to, like, this. I'm going to ignore this guy for now. And the reason why is I want to use my high crit chance and high stealth damage of an upgraded pistol to potentially get lucky and kill these guys early. Because a stealth crit is, like, roughly triple damage. And 40% is not bad at all. So, we're going to go ahead and try. See? Sometimes you get lucky, and you like to see it. So we'll try here. Okay, we don't get the second coin flip, but at this point, we're just going to shoot and finish the turn up. Yeah, you can see non-stealth crits don't one-shot. This guy's, of course, reporting gunfire. Not a surprise here, but you can see that the... yeah, plus 190% for the stealth crit versus plus 50%... or 75%, I guess, for the base crit. I have a... augment that gives me 25 base crit. So yeah, doing 1.75 versus 2.9, yeah, pretty good, right? Almost double damage. So that's your turn. Of course, the rest is going to be pretty easy. I probably want to attack from here. The obstruct buff is kind of annoying, but actually, yeah, if I go from here, actually, I go around a little bit farther, so I'm... Okay, whatever. This may or may not count as obstructed still. Yeah, it still does. Whatever, I'll just shoot. Yeah, I'm going to get the surprise target. Crit. Okay, great. Now I'm going to run... here. And I'm basically just trying to divvy up the attacks per character, because pistols can shoot for 1 action point with their last shot. And so ideally, I want to not move at the end of my turn, but shoot at the end of my turn and mete out odd numbers of action points. So in this case, it won't matter at all because he's dying in one shot, and I can't, like, do that. So we'll just kill you here. Great. So the first 3 guards are gone. There is no longer any security escalation. I've got to be careful around not getting heard by this guard. I want to make sure my footsteps aren't heard. This looks fine. So I'll run you all the way down here. Not sure if I want to or need to kill this guard. I believe this camera looks directly this way. I don't believe it looks too far up the stairs, but I have seen it do slightly weird things before. Actually, let me see. If I turn it off this turn, it's down for all of turn 1 and all of turn 2. It turns back on during turn 3. Yeah, I'm going to want to disable it the turn after this one. I will go for marker sites here because I think killing this guard is reasonable. And I'm just going to put the... Not that it's going to matter. It will be back on turn 4 in case I need it. I am unlikely to, but who knows. And then ultimately, yeah, I'm going to end up doing something like this. I'm going to run down to here. Now, it's worth noting that, again, I've played this mission a lot, so I know what all of the guard patrol paths are. These 2 will eventually turn back toward me. Turn this camera off because I can turn it off again later with packet loss, and so I think that's reasonable. I do have some leverage that I bought, so I'm not going to do it on this stage, but next stage I will block an escalation, and I will give my team some crit chance for, you know, an early game alpha strike. For now, I don't need that, of course. I've also got active leverage to reveal all the node locations. That'll be kind of nice as well. I'll have to remember to use that. So there's turn 1. Obviously, the guards are dead. And there's nothing else to really have to talk about just yet. Let's see. So what's next is probably letting these guards all have their turns. Of course, we don't know for sure this guard isn't turning towards me, but I do because I played the mission before. But that would be another good use of look ahead, theoretically. So you're going over there. Now, one small difficulty, and yeah, you don't turn that far, but if it went down all the way to the stairs, it'd be bad. So these guys are holding their position, right? Again, I can safely just yield and wait for the guards to have their turns. Yeah, so she's patrolling forward, and the thing is, right, you would see this corpse. So if we were to kill this person, you would know. Now, you're just guarding back and forth, and you're probably not turning back around. And so one option is to kill both these guards, right? If no one else ever looks in, these guards can die, and it's, you know, not a problem at all. There's no loss whatsoever. So I'm going to go down to 2 AP probably. Now, of note, I can't actually shoot everyone here, right? Getting far enough to shoot this guy is actually relatively tough, right? She's pretty far away. And so here's the planning I'm doing, right? Is I'm planning 2 turns ahead right now, because what I basically want is to be able to, on turn 4, when Tactical Surge is back, be around here, hit the Tactical Surge, and then make it all the way down. I can try to make it down during turn 3. I think it's going to be relatively tough to, like, grab the loot box and close enough and then run on just base AP. I find that often this mission requires you to wait for turn 4 anyway. Some of that, again, is forward knowledge from playing this mission before, but that's one way to consider doing this. And if I choose to delay, the nice thing is this guard's not scary at the start of the next turn. This guard's going at 10, which means we can basically say, on turn 3, weapons hot, kill everyone. That's probably acceptable here. But the other consideration is exactly how far forward can everyone move. Because ultimately I want kind of everyone to be like at this table at the end of turn 2. On turn 3 we kill them all, and then on turn 4 we leave. So it's whatever it kind of takes to be that level of far up. And because there's only going to be 1 turn left afterwards, we can pretty much safely say that... Okay, there we go. Let's put you right here. It's like fighting me on location. There we go. Let's put you here. That should be pretty well in cover. My gunslinger soldier can easily walk to this one. Actually, one thing I didn't do and should have was actually pre-cast some of these buffs. And the reason to do it is to... it's to guarantee that if he had rolled badly on initiative, everyone else could have cleaned up that fight, and it would have been fine. So I didn't do that. It was a bit of a mistake, but it is what it is. This camera turns on at the beginning of next turn, so I'm going to packet loss it now. Now it'll be down for the rest of the mission, basically. The difficulty, though, is you're going to just very clearly see me. I do not have a way of cheating around that. Now, the one consideration is that you only have so much where you're not blocked by people who are ducking. So, for example, I can get to here, absolutely no problem, and you won't see me. And if I wanted to be really greedy, I could try to get to here and pretend that I'm going to get in your cone for so little time that it won't be a problem. That's a little scary, but I'm pretty sure it's correct. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't get seen here. I think this is too little of the cone to matter. Yep. So I get some loot that I can sell. I'm just going to kind of lurch a bit farther forward. Again, as long as I'm in the yellow part of the cone, you can't see me if I'm ducking. So he is fine. Of course, I'm going to need to reload this gun. And my Cyberknight can run pretty far forward and kind of get behind this table. Looks like there is reasonable. That seems like a decent amount of cover. Again, we're going to be attacking on turn 3 and running away on turn 4. That should be fine. I don't have to do any initiative manipulation. You're going very, very late. We can see what you do. Everyone's behind cover for the most part. I guess this guy's in a little bit of a pickle, but I think it's going to be okay. So, of course, no body timers have run out yet. There's no danger yet. The first body timer is going to run out at the end of next turn. We're going to be gone by the end of next turn. These body timers do not matter at all. So you're going to chill. I'm probably going to move you here. So that still counts as hidden, and it guarantees it hidden from you. And I was going to walk this way anyway, so I think this is fine. Nothing too special there. Okay, let's put the buffs down. We're all going to attack from basically around here. And we're all going to attack enemies in this area. It's basically those two guards we're going to kill. There's a chance this guard is annoying, but I think it's not going to be the case. So, you guys are all getting strike zoned. We're all ready to get buffed. And the only... yeah, I guess we're going to have a slightly weird situation where... there's something might get awkward, actually. Let's see. Okay, they're actually running away, so that's chill. They don't matter now during turn 3. Cool. They look in for one annoying turn. Now we're fine. I guess I'm not certain which way you're going to go. What I'm worried about is this guard actually walking forward and seeing my hacker. So I'm going to basically say, you know what? We need to pop out of this. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He's jumping out of JTAC to make the shot. So I've got to put him in a spot where he's not going to step, so that I don't lose the buff. Because you can see here, I believe he's not getting... I'm actually not sure if that's true, but that's what it felt like. So I'm just going to put you here instead. That way he's not going to step out to get it. He's still stepping out? No! Okay, unfortunate. Oh well, is what it is. I think we're still getting it with the 22 crit chance here. That I don't get the thing stolen away from me. And yeah, my minimum rolls are too high. So we get the kills anyway. And then next turn, just got to make sure that Tactical Surge gives enough that I can make the kill happen. So yeah, you just turn back and forth over and over again. So we are chilling. They're all running away somewhere, you know, not useful. It's fine. The only minor concern is if you would turn back around onto me, am I going to have to be afraid? Also of note is that we get into footstep range of this guy. If we go right here, you can see that that's basically, yeah, at that 9 meter mark, which means we make footstep noises, so we got to be careful about that. The only surprise would be you at 13. So what's funny is I don't actually have a reason to run out like this. There's actually no real upside to it. I'm just doing it because I can. But I'm basically bumping my initiative, so I'm +8 next turn. This allows me to, for sure, go first next turn. I'm still going to easily be in tactical storage range of my teammates. Alright, and yeah, we're just kind of grouping up towards the exit here. I guess the one downside is he has a really, really bad initiative roll. Someone can jump ahead of him. I just think it's very unlikely to truly happen. So I'm playing a little bit cavalier here. It is probably more correct for my entire team to stay, like, maybe here, like, behind this wall. That way, they couldn't be revealed in an awkward spot. Why are you snapping like this? I don't want you to go there. I want you to go this way. It's just not, this is not a valid location, really, so that's why it's being kind of weird. Alright, anyway. I had a really good initiative roll, of course. We are all going before everyone, except you, and you're too far away to matter, so no one else's information does anything. It's just simply run out of the exit. I don't know why I'm spinning my map so much, it doesn't matter anymore. But walk in there. Extract character. And then you're going to go. Again, none of the other guards can have an action yet. You can see that, you know, we have 1 AP to spare if we're going from that area. Everyone can run in, though. And we are totally fine. We are chilling for part 1. Alrighty. We make our way downstairs, and it's time for part 2 of Loophole Heist. So we did the deserted construction. There was no hacking there. But now we've got hacking for loot at the finance bunker. Let's go attempt our next stage. We've hit the bunker floor. Alright, the place is bristling with security. But we can get to the databanks. And of course, only the Cyber Knight can go. She has to be the one who goes onto this square. Alrighty, you're going to see a jump cut in a second. My dogs are barking and I'm going to need to quiet them down. I'll edit it out in post, but you'll see a jump cut. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to, once again, the bottom floor of Loophole Heist. We've got 2 optional lockboxes. We've also got 2 matrix hosts. Now, it's worth noting that when you hover over them, it'll tell you what devices they interact with. So, these cameras, and some of these laser gates, and this scanner in the middle are all controlled here. So, it's the 2 long-range cameras are controlled. The 2 laser gates on this side are controlled. There is going to be a backtrack exit eventually, which is back where we came. There's a secondary exit going forward. Of course, we don't know anything that's beyond about this far, roughly. I'm actually curious what the distance usually roughly is. It's about that far. So obviously we can see guards within 22 meters, but we probably can't see guards within 35, 40 meters roughly. I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, I always find the opening puzzle of this map to be kind of odd. So, I just happen to know because I played it. This camera rotates, and it goes from here to around there. And it actually also cuts most of this low ground area as well. Which means if you hack for optional loot here, or for turning off devices here, this camera messes with you. It'll reveal you, it'll get security escalation, it'll send guards your way. It's relatively annoying. Other thing to note is, of course, we only know about 1 guard here. But there will eventually be more, right? We only know, again, about sort of this arc right now. And so there's other guards probably, up this way. So, if we go through the middle, the bioscan field, which, by the way, you cannot hit with packet loss or security scramble or anything, because it's a level 2 device. You can't turn this off on its own, which means sitting down here as a group is bad, which means going through the middle is kind of rough, because you have to go very, very far before you're allowed to end your turn. Because your hacker's always going to be here, right? Taking up time. So I tend to want to send my guys around the sides of the map. The difficulty is if I go up the right hand side, it's reasonable, but I can't get to this camera easily. I have to get I have to knock this thing out to get all the way over, and then I can like turn it off from over here and then come down. It's just like very awkward, right? A lot of things to get through. I could take down this laser wire, that would be functional, right? Then we can kind of sneak right over, but it still take down one device to get over this way. If we go on the left-hand side, it's not really any better. Again, this camera sees a lot more stuff, so it's like a more worthwhile disable because it will reveal your hacker. But it's like, this camera's in the way, there's still laser wire in the way, this camera's in the way if you go a different direction, this motion field's kind of in the way, and so it's like, it's kind of awkward no matter how you do it. The other consideration is that, you know, ducking through the motion field takes a lot of extra time, right? This thing is, I don't know, 15 meters across, so it's going to cost me like 3 AP if I don't just disable the motion field sensor. And of course, with 2 hosts, my hacker's going to be pretty busy, spending a lot of turns going through all the hacking, right? So it's like, well, I can use 1 AP taking this down. I can use 1 AP taking this or this down. I can try to go all the way to the high ground to not get seen by this camera. I've got to kill this guard. And by the way, this camera is going to reveal this guard's corpse and my hacker when he runs forward. So I want to kill this camera anyway, even though I'm not going to go to this side of the map really, because I don't know, it doesn't like, it kind of like doesn't make sense to go to the left-hand side. Just because the walkway here kind of sucks, so I'm like looping around to the right to go back to the left. It's not horrible, but it like just feels awkward. And it's like, well, okay, I can take down the motion field and this camera and that camera, and that's like fine, I guess. But then my hacker's like kind of alone on this side, and it's like, it's okay, but it's just kind of awkward. This probably is the best routing, even though it's like a little circuitous, is just to go like this. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing you've ever seen. So that'll be the plan. Thankfully, I'm in range for one thing, so I'm going to use my cybernetic to take down the motion field. My hacker can take down these two, because the hacker talent has much more range. I'm going to go ahead and look ahead you and see where you're headed. You are headed to the right, so the thing is, actually, if I delay too far... Well, actually, if I delay and they walk all the way down here, their corpse won't be under a camera. Which is actually pretty useful, but it does mean that I have to shoot from, like, around here and then make my progress, which is functional, to be fair, but... I'm going to throw down JTAC in roughly this area. Right, I know I'm going to run to the left, right? And I'd probably shoot from around these benches, basically. And that should be at least functional. We throw down coordinated charge. Okay, great. And my hacker has to burn his action points already to take down this camera. And I think he's not in range for the other... Oh, he is actually. Great. He's going to take down both these cameras this turn. So now we have a lot of space to go over and through there. Going to let this guard move so that when this camera turns back on, it won't reveal, because we know that you're going right there at the end of your turn. So let's all delay, and delay, and delay. Wonderful stuff. All right, so let's go have an actual turn. So I'm going to start by going... Let's go like as few as possible. If we go here, I have line of sight. So let's start there. Get some new information, right? There's 3 more guards. So 1 holding this side, 1 holding the Q endpoint, and 1 holding that. Now, thankfully, again, they aren't going to see the corpse right away. It's good news. Shooting you seems very reasonable. I think 3 shots here would be fine. That crit is great. Down you go. And so let's just make our way towards this side of the map, right? This is the primary objective, so we need to, like, get up here and clear stuff. And fingers crossed, though it's not likely, I want to get out from under this camera in time. So if I can get, like, you know, here, right, just off that cone, that's reasonable to do by the end of turn 2. Wait, was I not under JTAC? That's hilarious. Yep. I wasn't under the buff. I aimed it incorrectly. Oh well. You're done for now. The sniper gets to go. And I think ideally, let's start by going here. I think I want to kill this guard on this turn. I think between him and the other gunner, I think it'll be fine. The difficulty is... Yes, this is outside of his vision cone, which is totally reasonable. I don't think I want to strike zone him, and I believe that 3 shots each is enough. Or sorry, 2 shots each is enough. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much guaranteed to land everything we care about. Yeah, that's pretty good damage output. 2 more shots should kill. That shouldn't be a problem. We have plenty of accuracy buffs due to JTAC and surprise target and coordinated charge. And enough action points from tactical surge that we can get all the way up here and make this work like pretty reliably. So run up to there. Still instead of JTAC. If I really, really need it, I can marker sights him. I shouldn't need to. 100% hit chance, so I can't low roll that badly. Second shot, still 100%. Okay. We can't low roll that badly. 2 guards down. Okay. So we have 2 baseline tally from just, you know, existed from completing the first mission. 4 tally per turn is going to make this relatively tight to get under 3 security level. Again, I'm not really expecting it to work. It's cool if I get it, but I don't think it's going to happen. And unfortunately, because of double packet loss, I don't have the action points to get on this host this turn, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. What that does allow me, though, this won't quite reach the way I want it to. I'm going to start by going here. I'm going to have 1 move point next turn because of coordinated charge, which means grabbing this loot box and going only 1 action point up, I think is fine. I'm allowed to functionally waste 1 action point because I'm going to have 1 MP next turn anyway, and that allows me to basically not have any action points spent when I go into the host. And you do need 1 AP to start a Matrix hack. You can't just come in at 0. It's not like lockboxes where you just get them. Unfortunately, I didn't think about that camera turning, so it still reveals the body. And so, yeah, oops. Anyway, let's have the hacker start his turn. I want to turn off some cameras if I can. Now, I have some levers. Let's see how big this host is. This host is actually pretty large. Wow, it's actually really big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 nodes. It's a relatively large host. Let's go ahead and use this matrix stuff to reveal all the data nodes. So I get like some extra information where now I know that, you know, where these things are. Okay, we've got a sort of, yeah, it's a blue host, so they're only going to be like 2 to 3 ice per node. The escalations aren't going to be very scary. That's, you know, all good things. I think I don't want to load disarm, because ultimately the tally is going to be so slow with 60 escalation that it doesn't really matter here. And so I'm going to like not load disarm until I actually know I need it. So damage to connection is going to go away. I'm going to start by going... I'm just going to start by going right and like looping back and forth like this. Let's see. What's the fastest routing actually, right? What makes me never have to go back the way I came? If I go down here and then back up, that's only these 2 nodes of traveling back and forth. If I go like this, if I go down, right, maybe one of these is skippable. I don't know. If I go down... Yeah, I'm not sure which one's any better, if any of them even are. I'm going to start by going this way because I can get more information. No, I'm going to go right to left. I think it's fine. I'm not sure if this is useful at all, but I'm just going to go right to left. Okay. Have to kill both. Scan. Okay, this is a dead node, which means I would rather path back the way I came, because there's no reason to drop this and then come down when I can go this way and come over. I don't need, like, I have to get this down almost no matter what. But I don't have to get this down. So, unfortunately, this was a bit of a waste. I didn't know that, but now I do. Load the attack program again. I will take the tally instead of the AP. Scan for nearby nodes. Okay, here's my first set of things I can start breaking down. That's good. What do we have here? Plus tally and damage to cyberdeck. I will still take tally. I don't care too much. Escalation ended up doing nothing. Okay. Drop you, and then... Yeah, you could be disabled, and I don't know if I care about this very much, but I guess we'll drop the radar, and there's just usability in dropping this one, so I'll do it. But I don't care about the laser meshes at all. I'm going to skip the camera because I don't care. Drop the bioscan field. It just helps pathing be a little bit nicer. Okay, so These are all down for now. I don't know what's here, but I'll have to go back up this way to go check. Like, from this node, I can look up and see. Either way, I've got to load new programs. So I'm glad I didn't load Disarm, because I had to load Deception 2 or 3 times and scan twice. So I'm glad I got full progress this way. That's kind of nice. Yeah, we can end the action here. All right, now, do I want to block the first escalation? I think the answer is yes. I think there's no reason not to block the escalation. That's a lie. It is blocking it this turn, or it is escalating this turn. So that's, I guess, a bug. Oh, well. Actually, I guess I'll report that. Bugs, alarm, malfunction, lies, and says the AI will not escalate this turn. I think the title is enough. It's clearly enough tally that it would. I'll wait for the thing to pop up. There we go. Block the escalation. Great. And then I think realistically, I'm thinking if I need to use my this combat leverage yet. Because I'm really probably only... Actually, the annoying thing is... Here, I'm going to do a yield instead of a delay. Where are you headed exactly? And I'm going to aim it to the right. Or to the left, rather. Okay, you just headed over that way, which means you're not going to reveal me, which means I want you to walk off this camera first. I think that is better for me. You still won't be under that, which is good. So we can safely delay. You're going over there. Now you're away from the first camera, although if it turns... Actually, no, that should be blocking line of sight. So this is a very safe corpse spot. You are patrolling forward, but thankfully this guy counts as hidden because his wall's in the way. I can walk like this and it's totally fine. I'm going to yield back though because I want to make sure these guys can get the kill no problem. Also got to make sure again that I'm not seen by this camera. So if I want to use JTAC, I've got to shoot from over here. And if I want to like not get revealed by the end, I've got to move. Because this camera will wake up and I don't want to get seen by it. So I think I'm going to go... It's going to be kind of awkward. I'm going to basically spend 2 action points shooting. Rely on the other guy to finish the kill. Sadly, no lucky crits yet. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to walk far enough that I'm not seen by the camera. I guess I'll go here. Oh, interesting. He counts as hunted, not spotted, because he technically never got actually seen by this guy, because he's ducking back behind the crate each time. That's interesting. I've never had the interaction where I'm not spotted while fighting, but that makes total sense that it would happen this way. Alright, well, I'm going to have you hug this wall still. I can't yield a second time, but what I can do is run for the primary objective real quick. Grab a loot box. Okay, there's 2 guys up there. That's fine. A lot of stuff here. Yeah, this box always has a ton of stuff in it, by the way. Every single time I run the mission, there's like 8 items in it. So a lot of crafting mats, 30k, some stuff I can sell. Pretty nice overall. I'm going to go ahead and run to the objective. That seems pretty wise. Hello. Just tap this terminal to finish it. Got it. Accessing. And... done. It is that fast. Quantum networks are fast. The endpoint was paired. The knight who came before me must have snuck it in here. So whatever Octave is stealing, they've already been funneled to the other quantum endpoint. But it's time to leave. Our debt is paid and we're done. Yep. So our $2 million loan, that got our Cybernite spine implant implanted. That, you know, that paid for it. That debt has been forgiven because we did the missions that Octane wanted. So down you go. We're already blocking the escalation, as we know. And so all we're waiting around for, if we even want to, are these 2 hosts, right? We've gotten the loot boxes. We've gotten the objective. We can choose to go through these guys or not. It's kind of up to us. We could evac this way, right? We could use this host to knock down these laser gates and go through. That would be functional. It would be a possibility. We could go back the way we came. I'm a bit partial to go back the way we came because dealing with these guards doesn't seem very important. There's no reason to kill them, really. If we wanted to kill this guard, we could. It would start the body timer, but, you know, that's not unreasonable. Only downside is, again, this thing turns on very soon and will spot me, and I don't really want that. So the question I kind of have is, where do I want to group up now? Because we've got sort of an embarrassment of riches. We can do kind of whatever we want. So part of me is like, yeah, just like run down here and hide and make sure this route back is safe. Which, you know, I think, again, is quite reasonable. I think this makes the most sense, so I'm going to go here. This part is already basically safe, right? Like, these cameras will never see me. That camera won't see me. So I'm just in a good spot. End my turn. Excuse me? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Engaging escalation, corrupted, doesn't actually escalate. Okay. This guard was sent to intercept, though. And he was sent to go intercept this body that was seen. So we know where he's going, because we know what the AI did, right? We know the only thing the AI knows is that. This camera, of course, turned back on. I'm going to start making my way down, but I'm going to stop here. I just want to be, like, not revealed if these guards actually move on their turn. That's all. I don't have any look-ahead charges, so that's fine. You're chilling where you are. This guy can just... Actually, he can't yet sneak around this camera, but... Oh, well. This guy's not going to reveal me on his walk, because this is going to be line-of-sight blocking. Yep, he's going to investigate the corpse. He's now hunting. Okay. The guard died here. Where could they be? Where could the malcontents be? Yeah, so he'd get revealed here, so I'm going to have him delay. I'm going to wait for the hacker to see if he can knock some more stuff down. So I've loaded scan. We see there's traps and passives here. Not taking those guys out. I don't care about them. Use a program, exit the node, download access. Okay. Okay, here we found the CPU. I think spiking the CPU is not important. It will... Basically, this will cost me around 8 action points to walk over, nuke the thing out, scan twice, then walk off. Okay, it's going to cost me 10 action points to do it. I can spend 10 AP to functionally delete around 100 tally, because I'm going to get, like, plus 30 escalation from killing all the stuff. And then it'll drop by 120 for everything else. It's like, is that useful? It's useful-ish. Okay, here's the first of what could be several fairly annoying nodes. Tally on any action. Scan for traps. This trap is when you exit restart ice. Well, have to deal with that then. That means I have to drop this with sleaze. Ow, whatever. Do this. Take this. Disarm you. Take scan. Scan for what's nearby. It's some of everything. So I gotta go like this. Move over, and then download a file, damage to connection. So, yep, Deception U. Here is the security control unit, so I can take down the other long-range camera and run along this way, take down this camera. Again, this is CPU. Downloads, see what's here, and then... I don't know if I'm going to be done during the next turn, but it's going to be close. As long as those two up there aren't heading towards me, we're chilling. Also, you didn't see the body yet. Actually, you're not even, like, being scary yet, so I'm not even sure I care about you. Keep in mind that this radar array, or this camera, is going to turn next turn and be kind of annoying. Honestly, I don't have a reason to act here. I'm just going to be like, neat, we did it. Unfortunately, you're going to get caught out in the open. There's no great way around this, so I'm going to walk you up to here. And then you're just going to get seen by this camera unless I want to run past the motion sensor. Actually, even then it's too late based on how I moved. What I could have tried to do... Actually, I'm going to hide behind this wall here. That should block me from the camera. It'll still see my hacker. I have no way around that, but... it's at least a little bit less going on. And then I still can't make all the forward progress that I want. But I want to get as little tally as possible to see how much I can get done. It is worth noting, though, that I'm not going to get both these hosts and get under security level 3. It's just, there's no way there's the time for that. I don't mind that. I think it's fine. Oh, I see. It will still eventually do the escalation. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. I thought it fully blocked it, but it seems like it's... No, actually, for 2 turns, it just won't do the escalation. It, like, still tries to, but it just can't yet. Sure, okay. Anyway, I'm going to keep waiting on all these guys. There's no urgency yet. Tactical Surge seems worth using. I don't see why not. Go, Hacker, go. Yeah, download and download. Take these things, and then understand that I'm going to get there. Damage to Cyberdeck when you take any action. Scan for traps. There is one. If you load a program, okay, try to not load any programs. Got it. Hack the other camera. Sadly, you know, sad I'm 1 turn late, but, you know, had no way around this. Okay, we scanned there. Okay, so I have to go back 1 step because I don't have a I don't want to load disarm to kill it, so I'm gonna have to go here, grab this, feel bad about it, load these things, then go forward again. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Damage to connection, scan for neighbors, download access, grab you. We know there's traps to knock down, so let's grab the anti-trap, move over. Not going to load any programs. Actually, I'm going to load programs because I need scan. That was a bit of a mistake. Too late. Take these. Load scan. Okay, there's more traps and some passive ice. Let's see what they are. Download, download, and download. It's all the same stuff. We'll spend the first 7 AP, and then we'll load disarm later and get more. We'll scan, and there's going to be 2 last nodes. So during turn 4, we'll be done. Thankfully, the other camera is down, which is nice. There's a whole extra host there, which is going to be not necessarily an ordeal, but it'll be a thing. I'm going to throw out another JTAC because I think this guard's going to need to be shot. So let's put it somewhere like this. That should be functional. Where are you headed? Okay, you're useless. That's fine. I don't care about you at all then. We'll leave you alive. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to kill him. Again, I could choose to get 10% XP or go for this host. I think, honestly, I'll take the XP. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, I can just end my turn here. My Cyber Knight can reload her gun. And we'll start, like, moving my team forward the right amount. So that when it's time to leave, we can just leave. So put you there. Motion field does not trigger if you are crouched. These cameras will not see me. They are fine where they are. Wonderful stuff. My sniper is in a bit of an awkward spot. I'm going to put him, like, here. Actually, ooh. Okay, so I might be able to. So, cameras have a blind spot underneath them. The tough thing is when they're looking like that, I think the blind spot isn't wide enough. So I'm going to stay right here, and I believe when the camera turns to face forward, I can duck under that. If I'm wrong, oh well. Alright, we finally got our first escalation, and that escalation is reinforcement. So I'm glad I delayed it, because I was able to delay reinforcements by 2 turns. Of course, they're being sent to intercept. Keep in mind, my hacker was revealed by a camera. And yeah, we'll see if he's able to get out or not. This looks like it's not very hopeful. I do want to take a small step forward for coordinated charge here. Oh, worth noting, by the way, that cover does block things like the motion field, so I can actually run along this bench and it doesn't do anything. But still, I'm going to walk out. I want to make sure he's covered by coordinated charge. I don't know where they're headed, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter. I guess to be ultra safe, I can still go like this. This way I'm like I'm in cover and they're not going to see me. I still have 5 AP to shoot with. Let's see, can you sneak through? Looks like the answer is still no. I'm just going to wait till we see if we need you, though, right? See if you guys actually move and do anything special. They're not close to my hacker yet, so I've got some time. I also could use Security Scramble to knock this camera out to like make sure we can make the move, but it might not matter. We're probably done hacking during this turn. Let's see. Disabled, disabled. This is still up if you download an account. Got to get rid of you. Scan for the neighbors. Okay, that's it then. We're done here. So last 2 downloads. And unless I want to go re-disable that, which I don't, we're done on this host. Not a bad start. My programs are back in 2 turns. This right now doesn't do anything yet. At some point, they'll add mechanics to make these nodes matter, but for now they don't. So, okay, this is done. And so again, I can choose to say, you know what, I want to leave. Let me run down here. And that would be functional. It would be fine. It would work. But I don't really want to. I want to get my optional hacking loot. So you're still hunting. You're trying to find who, you know, created that body. Now you really are in a spot where it's worth killing. Unfortunately, this camera will turn and see that corpse. But I also want to wait for these guys to waste their turns. So go ahead. Where are you headed? You're heading over that way. Oh, is it for this body timer, actually? It probably is, right? Oh, no. So it is actually going for the hacker. So this guy was revealed on the camera, and so they are heading toward him. Okay, that actually changes my considerations then, because if they were heading this way, I don't want to get in this firefight just for one host's worth of loot, so I am going to go for evacs here. And so the question I have for myself then is, what is the most efficient way to get my teammates to safety without going to security level 3 if at all possible? Because it would be nice to not have to hit escalations. And I think it's actually... I think it's this, so that my hacker can run. Because this camera's still down, and these cameras won't see him, so he wants to, like, run through this. And so this, I think, is actually the most important one. So I'm going to disable that. I don't have look ahead still. This camera's down for a long time, and so I can actually be a little bit more aggressive in my positioning, and it's going to be okay. So I'm going to go to here. That seems very functional. I can't delay any further, right? Because I'm at 10, so I can't delay down to 0. So I'm going to kill you because you're in the way. I, like, expect you to stop my hacker at some point. Also, probably next turn we'll use the crit chance buff. Okay, and you're going this way. So you are worth killing. You did see the body. That's unfortunate. If I run like this, he sees me. If I run crouched, he won't, but do I want to do it that way? Because I can... So, like, he's seen a body, but it's not an escalation just yet, which means I could theoretically run in such a way that I can get around his view cone. So, like, if I do this... If I run like this, I'm going to have to duck for some of it. Okay, I'm going to duck... If I duck to here, I basically don't hit his view cone at all. And as long as my initiative roll's good, which so far it's looking pretty good, we can bypass this guy entirely. And that seems like the correct choice. Based on the fact that all I'm going to do now is leave and not get any more loot. I'm skipping this host to not deal with reinforcements. And we just barely aren't going to escalate as long as we can actually get out during next turn. With coordinated charge, I believe that's true. Which way are you headed? You're headed this way as well, which is going to make it a little bit more awkward for me. Please don't roll initiative well. Also, they're buddies. Hey, you two. Right. So again, I don't see a reason for killing these guys. So I'm just going to run back here. Let's see. The better initiative roll... Oh, this guy had a really bad roll, unfortunately. That's too bad. Yeah, we're just going to get out. We take the backtrack exit. Now, one thing we could choose to do is trigger some devices on the way out. The reason that's kind of okay... Actually, it's just going to be doing this. So we're going to get one tally from the camera. We're going to go to 21. 24 is the escalation. If I did this, right, I would trigger this laser gate, this camera, and I would go to 22 out of 12. But this laser gate does 10% of my max health, which means I would trigger stress. And I don't want to trigger stress, so we're not going to do that. So I'm going to get seen by the camera. That's +1. It's not horrible. Get you out to the evac. You're done. Escalation level 2. This guard is being sent toward maybe the camera, maybe the corpse, who knows. +1 tally per turn. And of course, yeah, a lot of people are being sent. But the nice thing is my Cyberknight had a really good initiative roll. And she can bump my hacker to be higher. And so now suddenly, my entire team gets to go first. And we do in fact get to get out during security level 2. With both boxes, with an optional matrix host looted. Which honestly had a pretty decent amount of stuff in it. So I'm pretty happy about that one. Alright, that was... I think that's the cleanest I've ever run Loophole Heist, because I almost always go for both hosts, and Actually, also, delaying those reinforcements was actually really meaningful. They would have been quite meaningful. They would have like really put a wrench into the plans. Time to call Octane. We are done. We did it. We are delivering. You're darn right. The endpoint was connected. You get the secrets. We will use this leverage when the time comes. Octane has the Kingmaker's Hand. This is basically a trait. And she can jump to the top of her faction when the time is right. And say, so you're going after the Syndicate boss, right, Henninger? Stole from Henninger, but doesn't mean that she's the target of our next move. We're going to find a weak link in the chain. All right, well, we'll be ready when you are. Let's get it. We're going to help her vault to the top of D Street, and we're going to have a power player in one of the criminal syndicates on our team. We're going to be a true power player. It's going to be a while to let the heat bleed off. Octane disconnected. Gather the team. We are finally free. Let's celebrate. Thank you, everybody. Or from now on, the game gets harder. I mean, this is true, technically. Like, all three of these are true. But, you know, which one do you want to choose? I'm going to choose my homies are great. I like my homies. Plenty of chance to return the favor. Oh, yeah, the TX-80 from Plan B. Never had to leave for Atlanta. That's right. That was the option. If it went poorly, we'd go to Atlanta instead of staying in Boston. Code levels up. We get a lot of stuff from the 4 loot boxes we grabbed. I mean, quite a lot of money here. Quite a lot of crafting mats. 40k is pretty good. A lot of stuff we can sell. The single Matrix Host was a ton of stuff. So what's great, we actually pretty much high rolled here. Legendary accounts are worth 20 influence each. So we just got 60 influence for our Wire Ghost, which is really good. That is almost single-handedly a limit break by itself. That is really, 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 really good. Or someone else who buys accounts. And then the rest of it is, of course, just money. And money, of course, is nice. So great, we did it. We'll make a safety save because why not? Whatever. Right. Oh yeah, I forgot to have any time tick forward for these things, but it's whatever. So let's see. What is the plan that we're going to do at the end of this? We know that we're going to be upgrading our Underworld hub. We're going to get a new token soon so we can boost this Legwork Chance. I have not done the math on whether or not it is correct to use a level 1 hub token right now on like grabbing this legwork and using it at the same time as this, or waiting till it's level 2, delaying this legwork and trying to use higher power tokens. I'm actually not 100% sure what the right option is. I do know that I have money to go to Underworld Hub 2 and Field Ops 2. That'll be really nice. I'm looking forward to those. Those are really, really solid. Just kind of built all the token rooms and thought that was good enough. As for his file sets, we can do one. It doesn't matter which one we build. It's going to be worth 19 to 49k, whether we get common or rare. I guess we'll find out pretty soon. Yeah, we got the 19k version, and then cut in half because we're on, you know, a higher difficulty level. We're getting half money for stuff. Oh boy, 1k for the Underworld. Thanks. Yeah, still deciding what I want to do with all these things. I'm not sure just yet. Worth noting, by the way, that Potato is offering me a mission. And missions always give influence to the person that you run them for. But also of note is that Potato is... I guess he's only at influence 20, so we're safe to sell him some accounts. It's specifically Owen, right? Yeah, you're ready for an influence limit break. And so, like, I could feed him the 3 legendary accounts, put him to 80, and put him, you know, in line for the limit break. But we're going to probably run the mission before then. And so I want to make sure that, you know, the, like, amounts are correct and I don't overcap on influence. Because that would be, you know, wasteful, right? All right, so, yeah, the plan here is see if this works. If it fails, let's just re-roll and try again. We're going to really hope we succeed on this one. Yeah, nothing to do. I guess we'll do our training real quick here, because why not? Level 6 on our hacker. We could bump null op damage. We could bump overclock duration, although right now the size of hosts doesn't need overclock duration. I'm going to move up for 0 interrupt. I find this to be just very, very good. It lets you get rid of one gnarly node and feel good about it. So that's worth doing that. All right, time ticks forward. All right, success. That's nice. So how does Mirage feel about this one? Real work is calling. I'll bring the crew down to celebrate and bring up your clout. Let's do that. We're bringing the crew. It's all about the crew this time, okay? All right, we found a new contact, a corpse splicer named Nick Edwards. Hello, Nick Edwards. So Owen now has 2 traits. She is the illicit nexus, and she has a German connection. We've gained a corpse splicer contact. And what's cool, if we actually look at our contacts here, so Dr. Ash can do level 1 cybernetics, level 1 medical items. So she sells things to us, like in the market. Also, she can implant level 1 cybernetics. But Nick has level 3 cybernetics. He also has access to imported ones, because he's German, he's from Warner Braun. And he actually sells higher level medical items as well, which is pretty sweet. Okay, his surgery costs more, but it goes in really quickly. So in case we care about that, like if money isn't a big issue, less downtime is kind of nice. And then, hey, he has the ability that if we ever get him a power play influence limit break, he might do some kind of like file services during it. Also, if we sell him files, which he does buy corporate files, he'll pay us more for them, which is kind of nice. Cool, great. Doesn't matter too much for us here, but the fact that we have better cyber is kind of nice. So if we check, like, hey, what if we wanted to put some stuff in? It's like, well, we have a lot of options here. We can get level 2 neural accelerator, which is 2 reaction, 1 tech, some evasion, you know, solid tankiness. We can get neural toner 2, which is 120 IO and 10 matrix AP, which is really good. I recommend this highly if you ever have the downtime available for your guys. I really recommend this. This is functionally the same as, except for memory constraints, which does matter. This is functionally upgrading your cyber deck by like 2 levels or so, and it's much cheaper than 2 levels of a cyber deck. This is really, really good. And I figured like the price is relatively close to Neurotoner 1, that like you might as well just get number 2 if you can. It's exactly twice as good for exactly twice as much money, and you should just do it that way if you possibly can. I also really like Synth Muscle. 3 reaction, 3 strength. It's just nice. This will, you know, half the time be worth 1 initiative, and it's, you know, 3% move speed. You can reduce some recoil instead if you want. You can ignore 2 recoil. You could reduce it by 25%. If you take the Iron Grip talents on Soldier, you can make this a combined 75% reduced recoil. If you get 25 strength, that's another 25% reduced recoil. You can have functionally no recoil permanently, which is pretty good. We could give other people display links, which is kind of nice. 3 accuracy, 6 crit, you know, honestly really solid. Yeah, there's just some decent stuff here that you can get. We can install gun links to become a gunslinger. Fun stuff there overall. Anyway, for now, I technically have the money, but I'm going to be spending it on Underworld Hub 2 and Field Ops 2. So I got to put cooling in, unfortunately, so we still have a longer delay, but I do still want this. This is very valuable. I'm really tempted to go into Command HQ 2 relatively soon because it's cheap, aside from scrubbing, and well, again, I don't really have more money than I need because I'm going to be spending it on these buildings relatively soon. This is going to be due in, you know, 1 day and a half, and then I'm dropping 200k like that. So there's not really an upside to that yet. Ultimately, we should let time tick forward. I believe it is correct. Let's see. So let me do the math in my head, right? This is going to be grabbed in 4 days, which means I will be 4 days into this token generation for token 2, right? Okay, fine. So the next token is going to be in 6 days, which will be right around when this building is done. Actually, yeah, the building will be done by then. So if I grab this legwork as it's due at 0 days left, 0 hours left, I will have plus 30 from the Underworld Hub token 1 and Underworld Hub token 2. That's fine. An alternative is to force it to delay by an extra week. I will not use the token 1 here. That was like kind of sort of free. But by delaying by a week, it will probably allow me to use 2 level 2 tokens, which is probably superior. So I think I will delay this when it's offered. I'm also going to try to bank up a lot of power level 2 missions to run. So here's actually the other weird thing. Is this would theoretically be a really good time to go for cyber surgery. Because this mission is going to be offered in 4 days. I'm going to get like a week or so to actually be able to run it, which is a long downtime. And then when that time is done, you know, my other contacts will have probably started offering me missions, and like this is the downtime that I'm looking for, where it's like, oh, this is when you would send people to surgery. Of course, there's quite a lot of heat here. Yeah, sure, that all matters, but I don't know. Like, this is debate, right? And it's, like, not super important, really. Ultimately, I think I'd still rather have Field Ops and Underworld Hub than sending my hacker in for cyber surgery, but, like, I think it's kind of close. Like, legitimately, this is really speaking to me as, look, it's only 150. It's not that expensive. I'm going to be down for 9 days, and by doing this, I am directly delaying my Underworld Hub upgrade. Like, I can get this plus Field Ops, and that's it. Hacking Station, I couldn't quite afford. Let's see, if I look at the accounts, you know, how well he's going to be sold for, how much they're going to be sold for. It's like, yeah, I can get some money off these little common ones. It's not a ton. Of course, if I wasn't playing on, you know, get half money, if I was on normal or even hard, it wouldn't be nearly so bad. And, you know, I need like a total of 450k, and I would actually have enough at that point, but honestly, I think I'm willing to delay the building and put in, because we have this downtime here, I'm going to go for it and put in the surgery. I think it just lines up well enough here that I think this is functional. So I'm going to go implant this. It's going to take 9 days. It's going to trigger stress, but I think it's going to be worth it. Yeah, Neural Toner. IO boost. He even gets initiative, which is actually quite nice. It's useful. Yeah, Neural Toner, 150k. 8 days downtime is not horrible. He's even got 4 beds, so we can get a lot of stuff all at once. And I'm going to double check one last time. Yes, this is my hacker. Fast brain slot. Install Neurotoner 2. Yes. Okay, let's do it. So he's down for 9 days. And he should have taken a stress roll here. He's up to 30 stress. That's not too bad. He was at 20 before. But I think that's worth it, ultimately. Again, I can't get paid for this mission for a while. Oh, I actually have other things I can sell, which is worth noting. I'm going to let time tick forward first, though. Okay. We can now go Field Ops level 2. That's going to be very helpful. Not terribly expensive. Of course, I got to make another 115k back to make the Underworld Hub happen, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. Hype Limit Break. I can get Tech. I can get Will. Well, Will, I think, is a pretty bad stat. Let's go for Tech. Worth noting that there is a bug sort of right now, which is that stats you chose on character creation are counted against the Hype Limit Break. I don't believe that is intended, but they were manually added stats, and so, like, I've already got all +6 points into Reflex. I've got 5 and now about to be +6 points into Tech. Only thing that's left is, like, okay, well, that's already going to be, what, 13 attributes spent. I can get a few points in strength and then be done. Ideally, the best options are actually getting the cybernetic-specific traits. I sadly don't have those on offer here, but, I mean, I would have much preferred to bump up Ballistic Scope Processor, which is, by the way, 1 tech every single time automatically, as well as crit and ballistic damage. And this would have been move speed and reaction, which, you know, just, obviously, just, you know, strictly better, but, oh well, you know, I was offered stats instead of traits, which is unlucky, but it is what it is. I'm not here to save scum over Hype Limit Breaks, so we overwrite and keep going. And because I'm not bumping this for a couple of days, I will accept this on time, I think, and use the token. So yeah, Underworld Hub. I can't afford going level 2. Let me check my inventory. How much can I sell? I can sell a little bit, but not that much. Okay, that's all my items. I've only got 100k. Again, I would have more if it was on a lower difficulty level, but I don't. And that means I'm kind of tempted to go for the Command HQ here, because it's only 40k, and it gives me another builder. The only downside would be the amount of scrubbing it takes up, which is +4. Hacker would be +2. That's actually not too bad. I think I'll go for it and say, let's go Command HQ 2. Another option would be going for the cold storage. I can't afford this just yet, but letting me do, eventually, as it goes to like level 4 or 5, getting 4-piece file sets is useful. I think Command HQ 2 is reasonable. It's relatively cheap. But I do really want Underworld Hub 2. I chose to go for the implant first. I chose to go for Field Ops first. If I did, you know, only one of those, or and then didn't do Command HQ, I would have Underworld Hub 2 underway, but that's not me. This is really worth it, though. I do want to get that way, you know, when I can. Hacking Station 2 would also be a possibility, of course. Not that expensive, but you do get better leverage. Anyway. All right, we can upgrade her German connection. Great, thank you. Oh, and finally got her limit break. 32% to double her influence gains. Pretty sweet. Let me check something real quick from the contact sheet. Yeah, she has the illicit nexus, which is functionally a power play. So your next limit breaks could give more options. So she's functionally under power play. And so that's pretty sweet overall. Of course, she doesn't natively offer missions as a nightclub owner. So increasing her influence is a little bit tough. We basically have to use accounts. It's the only way in. And she doesn't like pay extra for stuff. I guess theoretically this would make it a little bit easier, right? Chance to double influence gains. Okay, so worth checking, right? This was on 21 of April. The prior limit break was on the 9th of April, right? I guess these were multiple days apart. Because I think she was busy on this. She couldn't go for the limit break, I think is why that happened. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it feels like. Anyway, I think I can limit break Potato in time before this mission is actually due. So you can see real quick if I sort my contacts by influence. Nobody has a limit break pending yet, and so I can throw some accounts at Potato and get him to 80 and get him to limit break. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say, hey Potato, here you go, buddy. You're at 40, you're at 60, you're at 80. All right, he's next up for limit breaks. We'll hopefully have that one happen before this mission is due. Of note, though, I don't think he owes me any favors, so I cannot re-roll his limit break, but, you know, fingers crossed it'll be fine. Oh, interesting. It jumped that one ahead. That was not my expectation. Okay, that felt like kind of a bug. Thankfully, though, he has quite the story, but we have good news. All right, I don't want to go back, though. That place is horrible. He's able to drag him out. He's working with the rickshaw. Hey, what's up, folks? I owe you. I want to make it up to you. It turned out well. They're making some juice. We got blue juice. Blue juice is a hacker consumable. So the juice is getting back on the streets, huh? The rickshaw cut off supply to the red juice. For half of 2230, red juice was available. Hackers use it all the time. So what about these guys? What do you know about them? They move a lot of drugs, they move people, they move guns. We'll leave out the part about the rickshaw. Right, we're gonna, you know, do what our new contact wanted to do. He's safe and alive. Nope, no other loose ends. We got 4 favors, we got some influence, we got some trust. So great, our new contact is looking pretty happy. Oh wow, okay, cool. We got some some spice on offer here. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so contacts, right? This guy's at 80, great. He's gonna jump. Okay, this is unfortunate. So they today actually made a change where anyone who's at 100 influence, basically if you have over 80 influence, you'll actually jump ahead in line. So even though we bumped some accounts to Potato and got him to 80, Chad's jumping ahead. And then, I guess, where is... Yeah, Decker's up to 40, so he's not there just yet, but his power level went up, his trust went up, his influence went up, so he's going to pay 12% extra for missions. Kind of nice stuff there. But yeah, so actually, I need to send in a... I'm going to send in an F10. Legwork jumped ahead in the timeline. Okay, so Boxer's dialogue was 6 hours before the blue juice storyline legwork. I advanced the timeline, and then before I know it, the blue juice one pops, and Boxer still hasn't talked to me. I was relying on his dialogue to pause the timeline for me. Alright. Well, the sad thing is, now we're going to be running this mission for him and giving him influence. That's going to be functionally a waste, because we already put him at 80, and so that's, you know, an unfortunate small downside, but whatever. All right, so the things worth pointing out, by the way, is we have 2 more missions coming up. This is another legwork, by the way. So Origami Joe has a story legwork where he's trying to get access to more guns. This ends up being a, as I said, a get access to more guns type of legwork. It eventually turns into a very short string of missions down the line to secure that bit of gear, but is overall quite solid. This is a new mission type that is available to at power level 2 and was immediately offered. This is going to be a little bit tougher. One, because Free Streets Compact, which is FSC, they actually do potentially have access to mech infantry, which is the hardest unit type in the game, functionally anyway, that you can like actually reliably run into. And I'm not very high level, right? Like my guys are level 5 and 6, and that's not, you know, terribly high. And so if this ends up rolling drones as part of the mission, life gets really, really difficult. So I've got to be kind of careful at this one. That'll be kind of scary. Either way, there's this legwork going to be offered to me that I'm going to ultimately choose to delay because I have no reason to rush it since I'm waiting for my Underworld Hub to get upgraded. Now, I also need money. So what I'm probably going to do, timeline-wise, is I want to see if I can delay this mission as long as possible by leaving him on red as long as I can. And the thing is, these don't pop until you hit play on the timeline, which means I can, like, grab this mission and run it, and that'll cost a day. And, like, maybe, possibly, maybe, just maybe, someone else will come up and be like, I've got a mission for you too, and I can talk to them and run that mission, and it'll cost a day. And this keeps getting pushed back and back and back. You can do it for talking to him, and you can do it for the mission itself. So it's like, I can move this down to, you know, basically here at 6 hours. I can grab this mission, run it, he'll still be left on red with 0 hours due, and then I can talk with him. Before that mission is due, I can run it down to 0 hours, have someone else talk to me, grab their mission, run that, push back another day, and maybe, fingers crossed, I buy enough time where both Chad and Potato can limit break before he has to actually run his mission and get influence from this mission itself. That would be the fingers crossed moment, right? It's like hoping I can do that. Obviously, this guy's got to get his neural toner done. I really want level 3 programs. I want level 3 cyberdecks. Those are both valuable. I want to run this mission to get paid so that I can upgrade my Underworld Hub. So, like, ideally, like, okay, currently my workers are busy, right? My command HQ is busy for 1 day, 6 hours. This is busy for 5 days, 6 hours. So it doesn't matter how much money I have. I can't start my Underworld Hub. But I want to start it as soon as possible so that I can go here, drop my 6 days, and then, you know, use this legwork and this legwork with 2 20% legwork tokens from the Underworld Hub. Which means, right, I'm basically going to run these missions pretty much as fast as I possibly can. The exception being that this neural toner, of course, I have to wait for it. And then turn that into everything else going well. So what's cool is this level 2 soldier is going to get useful because we're going to run the Cyber Knight, the Sniper, the Gunslinger, probably the Soldier, and actually I might even be able to use the Vanguard because for funsies, my contact here, where's Boxer? Yeah, he owes me 2 favors. You can use hovercraft operator favors to run 5 people in a battle strike mission. And so there's like a really cool sort of like confluence of events right now where I'm like, okay, I'm doing some like really minor, it doesn't like matter all that much, but I just like maximizing things. There's a bunch of like really minor optimizations that can kind of stack on top of each other and be like, actually, you know, the time is now. I have, you know, functionally 5 combat ready mercs. My hacker's not ready. That's fine. I'm going to run the Alpha Strike. I'm going to get the leverage. This is why, by the way, I have 5 suits of armor, is because, and why I have a 5th assault rifle, because suddenly I need to equip everybody with all his gear. Right? Like, he's going to be running this mission, and we're going to take his gear off and give it to her, and everyone else needs to, you know, be well equipped. We're probably going to replace one of the base pistols with a revolver, put the scopes on it, you know, all kind of fun stuff there. It should all work long term. So that's kind of the space we're in. I guess, ultimately, so what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to end the recording before I get this mission, because I want to make sure I can re-roll this mission onto the most interesting tile set that I can. I'm not sure what tile sets are all eligible for this mission, but ideally I want to give one that's cool. You know, not all maps are created equal. Some of them are, you know, a year old at this point almost, and some of them, you know, got released 3 days ago. And so, both for the data collection, like, I'm kind of always curious which maps are available at which power level. There's actually some gating behind this. They don't send you the really, really large maps until you're like PL 4 or 5. And so one part data collection, one part trying to make an interesting sort of gameplay. Next episode, we'll be basically grabbing this mission, delay. Actually, I'm going to delay this legwork now. There's no reason I'm not doing that. I'm going to say hi to you. He's going to try to get somebody to smuggle a crate onto a shuttle going to a near-Earth space station. We can go through the dialogue real quick. How do we get up there, by the way? You have to get smuggled up there, that's how. You gotta be like super rich if you want to retire to a constellation. Yeah, it's a really, really, really tough corporate assignment. Okay, anyway though, so if you run the legwork, only Sin is available. She's the only person who could possibly run this mission, which is kind of funny to me. No one else can run this, so thankfully we have her, right? But like, so one thing worth noting is the way legworks for your mercs work is it's entirely based on their tags. So I believe Scourges count, but Vanguards, Agent EXs, and I believe Scourges all count as stealth classes. And so this is a legwork that can be only attempted by stealth classes. Now, the other thing to worth note is that specific traits can also influence that. So we're obviously going to delay this. We'll do it in a couple of days. And so it's going to be due in 8 days, which is more than enough time for the Underworld Hub to be done. After this is done, this gets upgraded. And then the legwork itself costs 7 days, so, you know, really, really not a problem, right? But some traits actually further influence it. So, like, let's say there was a mission that was, you know, a combat-focused mission, right? And so a soldier or a gunslinger or a sniper is eligible. Cyber Soldier would be eligible as well. That would give you the same, like, baseline 40% chance that this Vanguard had. But the extra benefit is that Bull Built is like, or actually Door Kicker, I think is actually the one. Door Kicker and Longshot count as like specific combat traits, right? I mean, they explicitly make you better using certain kinds of guns, right? What that does is basically says, oh, actually, you're not 40%, you're 60%. You're baseline better at this kind of stuff. In fact, he just got... He ran this legwork. Did he not? Okay, he didn't get a thing. Okay, fine. Either way, so like if you can sort of like collect useful, cool traits on these guys, you can end up giving them. They'll be even better at certain kinds of legwork, which is kind of cool. Some of them are based on traits, for example, right? Like being a you know, a Free Streets guy means he knows stuff about Free Streets Compact. So if there's like a mission that involves Free Streets Compact, like a story mission, that can matter here as well. There's kind of all kinds of fun stuff there. So anyway, again, the plan is save the game, save and reload till we get a cool version of this mission, specifically. Make the money as soon as we can. Hope that's going to be enough that we can bump our Underworld Hub. Fingers crossed, it's going to be really tight. And we're going to have a 5-man crew fighting Free Streets Compact in a roughly power level 5. It'll be roughly power level 5 mission. And so we'll see how strong we are. We'll see how well we do. And then as this building gets upgraded, we can grab this legwork. We can grab this legwork. And that'll probably be the end of the next episode as we try to delay this as much as possible. So we can try to get Potato to get a limit break. That's going to be me. So here's our save. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.